Hi guys, welcome back to Waxing On. It's Friday, and today we're continuing comedy with a fellow that I became aware of in the early 70s. Remember seeing him on some TV shows. One that sticks in my mind was Midnight Special. Now, I've talked to you a number of times and said most of the music or the performers I follow, I've either seen or heard about them on Austin City Limits, Soundstage, those shows both on PBS, read about them in Downbeat, but I forgot to mention how many of these people I had really discovered on Midnight Special. A late night Friday show came on after Carson's Tonight Show, and it was on in the mid-70s. I'll tell you, it was a great show. There was another one competing with it, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, which very similar. But for me, Midnight Special was the one that I really clicked with. And the performer was Steve Martin. Now, at that time, he was doing a lot of stand-up. Playing banjo, he had the arrow through the head. It was a lot of comedy. He kind of branched out away from that later on. And as Saturday Night came along, he really seemed to fit into what they were doing. Now, I've got an album here, and this was, I believe, his second one. Steve Martin, Wild and Crazy Guy. And you probably recognize the phrase. Certainly they worked on that in Saturday Night Live with him and Aykroyd, playing a couple of brothers. And the album was recorded live, two different locations. Just to give you some idea what that was. We've got side one was recorded at the boarding house in San Francisco, California. And side two was recorded at Red Rocks in Denver, Colorado. And this was Steve's stand-up routine. Now, some of these routines may sound familiar to you. I'll just read them off, what he has here. Side one was I'm Feeling It. Side two, Philosophy, Religion, and College Language. Creativity in Action, and In the Mood for Love. We also had Wild and Crazy Guy, A Charitable Kind of Guy, An Expose, Cat Handcuffs, Your Naive Americans, My Real Name, and King Tut. Now, King Tut turned out to be a musical number that really caught on. If you remember, again, we're back in the mid-70s, Steve Martin was hosting Saturday Night Live, and he performed King Tut with the Saturday Night Live band. It was all in costume, it was all a big thing, but it was his big hit. And again, Steve Martin was one of those hosts that just kept coming back. He really fit in with what they were doing at Saturday Night Live, and I think that's where things really started to take off for him. Now, eventually, after a few years doing stand-up, he retired from stand-up and got more into acting, and certainly he's had a great career as an actor. Lately, he's back playing banjo, and I've seen him at our Ottawa Jazz Festival, which we spoke about earlier this week with the Steep Canyon Rangers, and doing performances with them. So lately, he's been out doing musical performances as well as the acting. This album, again, came as a single album with a gatefold. Here we got the King Tut on the back. Inside, Steve with dark hair playing guitar, which I rarely saw. Rarely saw guitar, I mean, not the dark hair. And it came with a extra color photo with it. So you may have seen this one before, Best Fishes with Steve Martin. I remember at our high school, our art teacher had that posted up in his classroom. I don't know if some of our crew here remember that, but yeah. So that was a giveaway that came with the album too, which was kind of nice. And again, the other thing I liked about albums, boy, you got stuff like that. I mean, you got extra giveaways that you wouldn't find anywhere else. Stephen Cat. Now, certainly he's gotten away from stand-up, but if you want to go back and find out where his roots were, this was that transition period from the true stand-up comedian as he was branching out into more performances of a different nature, like say the Saturday Night Live feeling can really be noticed here. Again, I don't know if this is available online. I didn't have a chance to check the streaming networks. I'm assuming it's there. If not, I'm sure YouTube would be a good option to take a look at. And if you're lucky enough to get a hard copy, hey, you get some freebies with it. Okay, that's it for today. Comedy of Steve Martin, actor, musician, stand-up comedian. Everybody have a great weekend. Don't forget Super Bowl on Sunday, Valentine's Day on Monday. And we'll see you Monday for another show. be jazz on Monday. Until then, everybody take care, stay safe. Thanks for stopping by.